Hello, my friends. It's Sonia Eckel, your host of Doing Life Together. We are at episode 39. How are you all? Okay. Give me a shout in the comments as you pop on and tell me where you're coming in from. And hi, Chad and Shannon. So good to see you, Shannon. I was just thinking about you yesterday, actually. If I've got the right Shannon, happy belated birthday. I meant to text you. Anyway, hello. Okay, so we are going to talk about one of my favorite topics. It's under the umbrella of wellness, but even more specifically, it's really about anti-aging. Hi, do I have the right Shannon? Tell me I do. I'm sure I do. It's SH. I know I do. I hope so. Anyway, all right. So my question for you is, some of you are around my age, some of you are babies, you're so much younger, and some of you are a little ahead of me on the journey. But let me ask you, I don't care where you're at, would anti-aging, like reverse aging, sound good to you? Would that be cool? So I'm going to share a little bit about my journey. And some of you guys know this, so bear with me if it's a repeat. But I was thinking back to when I graduated physical therapy school. I was anything but a picture of health. To be completely straight, I was drinking diet, specifically Diet Coke, but any of the diet options I was drinking a lot. I would say that it felt like I was addicted. Like I could easily blow through 2 liters. Also, I just wasn't taking good care of my body, like overall for nutrition. And I began throughout college, actually, and in those early working years, I began to have these lung infections that went into bronchitis, went into pneumonia. And I was like a walking, hacking hot mess, trying to make it through college. Now, actually, I think in PT school, maybe I was getting a little better. I can't remember. I think it was less, but even then, and then the other thing that I remember about that time in my life is how tired I was. I was always tired. I just wanted to sleep. And those, by the way, are not clues of vibrant health, right? Constant lung infections, constant coughing, fatigue, muscle soreness, alignment issues, like so many things. Okay. I am convinced that if I had stayed on the train that I was on, it would not have worked out very well, to be honest. I think it was the recipe for autoimmune. I think it was incredibly unhealthy. So thankfully, as I was working in my new PT job, and I had to drive a little ways to get there to the clinic I was managing, and I found some tapes in my sister's basement, and I began listening. And they were all about nutrition, and it began to open up my mind. Now, mind you, I am blessed to have a grandmother who was way ahead of her time. She was into all the nutritional stuff. She even did, like, she knew the pressure points on your feet for which organ was this and that. Her wellness person would muscle test her to figure out what herbs and stuff she needed. So I was not new to the wellness thing. But when you're young, you don't think grandma knows much, right? Like, I loved my grandmother. Do not get me wrong. She's one of the bigger influences in my life. But she would say, Sonia, don't drink diet pop. It turns to wood alcohol. And I'm thinking, oh, I'm sure, grandma. I'm sure that's what it does. Like, I'm not proud of that moment, but that's what I thought. All right. So I've shared this with some of you. I began working in my first physical therapy job. And of course, you see a lot of people repeatedly. And we were seeing people with a lot of chronic stuff too. And so when you see someone with chronic issues, you see them more. And so I got to know them really well. And so I began this like informal study, like, hey, what's your favorite thing to drink? And they all said diet pop, diet pop, diet pop, all of them. I was like, oh, this is not good. I don't want to sign up for this. And so I cut cold turkey after, and then I began actually deep diving it. So this is my moment for all y'all who are obsessed with Diet Pop. This is not, doing life together is not a judgment point whatsoever. I've been there. All my hope is for this podcast and this time together is that it makes you think about some things that maybe you've not thought about, A, and B, that we can go it together, right? Doing life together, and that we will have conversation. Now, ultimately, you're an amazing functioning adult. You don't need me to tell you what to do with your health, and you get to decide if you want to, continue drinking Diet Pop. Like, that's you. You get to. I am sharing my journey. And this began to shift my health massively. But also, as I began to learn about the power of nutrition, I began to learn about blood sugar. Oh my goodness, blew my mind when I learned about the glycemic index. And see, this is, by the way, we won't talk about how many years ago, right? Like Jake's 21. So this was before I was married, before Jake. So it's been a couple decades. But, so glycemic index, like I learned that when I ate certain foods in certain forms, even combined with other certain foods, that it would sometimes jack my blood sugar, which then caused the insulin, that whole thing. Now today, this is becoming a lot more common that people are talking about it, but all of this just began to just like whet my appetite. I was seeing how much better I felt. I was seeing that when I incorporated some nutritional stuff, which I began doing. And I couldn't really afford it back then. I was paying off a lot of student debt, and I wasn't making just a ton, but it became important to me because I knew like I didn't like feeling yucky, and I could see this was shifting how I was feeling. My energy was improving. And so some of y'all knew me back then, and you know that I am passionate. I was passionate 2 decades ago, and I am still passionate about wellness. But the thing is all that stuff is anti-aging. It all compiles. Blood sugar, insulin, massively anti-aging. When you figure out that piece, that's huge. And by the way, it probably will help you even drop a few pounds, right? Like that's the cool thing about when you learn the power of working with your body instead of against it. Okay, so anti-aging, and then I was going to say, oh my goodness, this is like such a huge topic. Where do I even start? But there's a new term on the street, and I want to say Dave Asprey kind of coined it with his Bulletproof Coffee, called biohacking. I don't know if I'm giving credit where credit's due, but essentially when I look back on my life, I have been biohacking for over 2 decades. I didn't know what it was called, but basically I was like saying, how can I support my body and stave off this aging thing? Now, some things I've tried have been really successful. Some things I've tried have been less successful. Like I haven't really seen them move the needle. I know that everyone's got something that they're like, oh, you need oils, you need this supplement, you need right. We're inundated and sold with all the solutions. So it's hard to navigate like which ones are absolutely going to move the needle and which ones won't. Now, I can only give you my personal experience, and I know everybody has their own experience. So yeah. Okay. Biohacking. So a while ago, I did like my top supplements. I just did a little PDF, and you could request it for free. And I will still happy to share that with you if you want it, and you can just DM me. I don't remember the link or anything for that, but I think supplements are huge. I also began doing various light therapy. And by the way, y'all, if you've been absolutely freaked out about the sun, in my research, I think the sun has been very malaligned. And I actually think the sun is the first and foremost light therapy that we have free access to. And I think it's absolutely incredible. So I encourage you, if you are like sunscreen every square inch of your body and you're nervous about the sun, I'm going to share another story with you. Okay. And you all know I don't have notes when I pop on. I literally pray and say, Holy Spirit, what am I supposed to share tonight? And so here we go. You never know what you're going to get. I don't know what you're going to get either until it's real time. But I remember in when I was in physical therapy, I did some wound care where I cared for wounds and burn care, and actually really enjoyed that. It was, I mean, it's kind of gross, but it's kind of like amazing too. So anyway, so I was doing that, helping this beautiful person. Oh, lady, she's just amazing, and she and I became really close. And she had melanoma, and so I chatted with her a lot. And back then, I was young. I was like, "Oh, were you in the sun a lot?" She's like, "I was never in the sun. Like, I'm not a sun person. I don't really do sun." She said, "But if you actually take the time to research melanoma, by the way, this is not to speak of curing anything or any disease, but I'm just sharing." She said, "If you actually will go research it, it is not a sun-caused disease." I was like, "Oh, no clue." I had no idea. I just thought skin cancer, skin cancer, skin cancer. It is. So she actually caused me to do the deep dive on melanoma. And it's hard, you have to know where to look on this stuff too, because you won't necessarily find it just on, a Google search. But she started helping me know, and she goes, "No, actually, this one," she said, "this, a lot of the skin cancers that are easily removable are, sun might exacerbate some of those." But she said, "Did you know that actually sunshine helps prevent a lot of cancers?" And so I mean, it was just a beautiful thing. I still think so highly of her, because even in a moment where she was in the middle of something really tough, she was sharing what she had learned, and that helped me. That really helped me. So of course, you should not go out and fry your skin. Bad idea, right? Like, that's going to cause sun damage. But learn about the sun. Like, it's phenomenal. But you got to be in the right circles. Unfortunately, there is kind of a narrative that everyone's told. And unless you dig or you look under the hood, so to speak, you just take it as that's just what it is. I look under the hood. I do. When my babies were little and I had some big decisions to make, number one, God brought the right people into my life so that I knew I had some decisions to make. Most people don't even know they have decisions. They don't even know they have a choice on anything. They just say, if the doctor does this, then this is what I do. I am so beyond grateful for the people God brought in to my life. And some of it was so random, like so random, but it was this little seed he would plant. And then I would go with it. I'd be like, okay, I'm supposed to look into that. So when we were starting our family, I was actually reading through CDC documents, not even kidding. Like, when I decide to deep dive something, I tend to deep dive something. And wellness has always been a passion of mine. So it's easy to deep dive our passions usually, but hours upon hours. And what I'm doing right now is I'm just being that little seed. If something is like resonating with you, like, oh, I need more about that. This is not my training ground. This is not where we get to train about everything. This is where we're doing life together. We're bringing some topics to the table. Let's talk about stuff. Let's talk about stuff. And maybe I'll be the person who says a little something that then makes you think, I wonder if I should second check that, right? All right. So, sun, light therapy. I'm a huge fan of red light. I've been using red light again for probably over a decade. I've learned more about red light with my time, but I also like some of the other light spectrum, like the yellow light, the green light. They all have perks. But red light has a phenomenal scientific background. But you want to choose wisely on your red light. So they're not all created equal, I don't believe. Another thing that I've utilized is infrared. So far infrared, near infrared, they're different. They do different stuff. But anyway, these are all little pieces that might help you on your journey. The other, I mean, goodness, we could just go and go. But here's something that you can do easily, and it is, the scientific research for it is phenomenal. And especially for us ladies who are midlife, weightlifting, unbelievable, the research and what weightlifting does on so many levels. Anxiety wise, like how if you find yourself dealing with anxiety, which can be a hormonal, shifting thing, weightlifting actually like calms. I don't know if I'm going to say this right, but calms your nervous system versus aerobic. Like if you're a big runner and you do all aerobic, that can actually amp you up more. And really what's beautiful is finding that balance. So we know walking is another thing that is insanely proven to change your health for the better. It's just great. And speaking of walking, look what I just got because I just had to. I got this walking vest. Now, I didn't want to start super heavy because I wanted to wear it. And I thought, if it's too hard, I might not want to wear it. So you just do this and it just clips here. There's many different kinds, but this was recommended. So I thought it was pretty fabulous. And so I've been walking with this, and believe it or not, it doesn't make it harder. It's not even that heavy, but I'm like, oh, but what's interesting is it also makes you realize if you're 12 pounds overweight, everything feels harder. Like it does. So this is like carrying around an extra 12 pounds, but the benefit is, of course, you can take it off, right? So that's good. So thinking about how can you support your body, and simply put, I love everyone who's tracking your steps. I don't actually track my steps. I once had a clicker thingy-majigger, but I haven't for years, but I should, because I really think, we walk almost 2 miles, maybe like 5 days a week. And Willie is a fast walker. I thought I was fast. Like I leave everyone else in the dust usually. I am huffing to keep up with Willie. So shout out to my hubby because he and Miss Maple's favorite thing are her walks. She's just obsessed. So, but walking, but then how can you combine the benefit of weight training with walking? Well, you can look at a weighted vest. Okay. Oh my goodness. There's this other product. It is so cool. It's actually a scientist guy here in Texas. He lives pretty close to where we are, and I got to meet him in person. And he has this special technology, and he used to adjust. Well, he probably still does adjust people, but he found that this. What does he say? It's like in the quantum realm, which gets crazy. But anyway, I bought one of his weighted blankets, and if you need the link, message me. I can get that. But seriously, I used to get adjusted monthly, and this has held my adjustments so incredible. I'm like, whoa, I'm sort of obsessed. So message me if you want that special quantum energy link, and I'll get that for you. But anyway, so I do believe that for anti-aging, like on the skin level, because, we ladies, and probably you guys too, but especially ladies, guys, you just kind of just look okay with wrinkles. Like that's the way society has posed it is, these, what do they call y'all? Gray foxes. Like, it's okay. Right. And for us women, society has definitely set it up where wrinkles are a little less, I know it's a societal thing. I know that but I don't want wrinkles. I really don't. Now, do I have some? Yeah. However, I got to tell you, I am doing some things that have shifted, like reversed my wrinkles to some degree, which makes me insanely happy. So I put this like tape stuff on my forehead at night. Hey, I'm sure it's very sexy, but I happen to like that I would prefer not to use Botox. Now, you guys do your research, whatever. But I don't really want to do fillers and Botox. It's just not really aligned with who I am. Now, I'm not saying I never, ever will, because, I don't like saying never, but I don't want to. If I can find natural ways to support my own natural collagen and all the things, I'm for it, right? So I do that. Hey, another wellness tip that you guys have to research if you haven't, these are all, like I can pick just one of these and do a whole episode on all of them, but mouth taping. Now, okay, I actually woke up about 5 days ago, I don't know, sometime last week. And it was very funny because I felt prompted to do this like waking up video. And it made me laugh because I'm waking up. I've got my eye mask because I'm all about sleep rhythm, your natural melatonin. I don't want to supplement melatonin. I want my body knowing how to make it. That means you've got morning sun exposure, which I try to do every morning, and you have complete darkness at night. So I have an eye mask that I love. Now, I had one I loved. I love my new one even more. I'm kind of obsessed. By the way, too, I also have a new travel neck cushion. Obsessed with it. So, oh my goodness, it's even better than my first recommendation, which I've loved for years. Okay. But anyway, so I wake up, I've got my eye mask on. I have my mouth taped with my favorite new mouth tape that I found, I don't know, a month ago. I've tried several mouth tapes, by the way. Most of them I've not enjoyed, but this one, it seems to work. I have my little wrinkle strips here and yeah, super fun. And then I'm sleeping on my fabulous Norwex pillowcase that I love. And then I've got my weighted quantum energy blanket. I mean, I'm just looking at this going, Sonia, this is hilarious. Look at you. So kudos to Willie. It's probably not super sexy. All right. Let's just be honest. But luckily we both work out from home. So we can, we get to hang out. He doesn't only just see me when I have mouth tape and wrinkle strips on my forehead. Hey, right. But anyway, moving along, more than you needed to know. But let's just say, okay, so here's the thing. I woke up and I realized as I took that video of me, maybe I'll post it, maybe I won't, we'll see. Follow me, see if I post a reel because I've got it on my phone. Whether or not I actually put it out for the public is a whole nother thing. But what I realized, and my red light is right there beside me and all the things. And what I realized in doing that was all this stuff was stinking expensive, right? Like lifting weights, not expensive. Walking, not expensive. Drinking good quality water, a little expensive because you got to filter that stuff. So drinking plenty of water, not so expensive, but actually filtration of your water, I believe is super important too. And like the quality of water. But I realized that this was one of the things why I hated financial stress is because I wanted good supplements. I wanted all the wellness hacks, all the things, and they're kind of spendy. So I need to bring this train into the landing because I'm going a little long tonight. Plane into a landing, not train. But anyway, so I began to think what a blessing it is to learn how to build income. All right. So as I wrap up, and we could talk so much more, but this is just a starter. I am doing a program and I feel called to do this program. The value is off the charts. Like I have just been doing the free complimentary call that you get when you sign up before June 24th. I've just been going through those. And that one call alone for helping someone in the direct selling arena, network marketing, party plan, whatever it is, that I'm doing 60 minutes. It will probably drop to 30 because this is taking quite a bit, but 60 minutes complimentary call with my multiplication transformation.com coaching. But that call is worth the price of the thing. Like it is, this year is going to be phenomenal. Now, why do I say this? Well, what God has shown me about this course that has me over the moon is number one, I get to teach people how to make residual income. So tons of people in the direct selling arena, network marketing, party plan, whatever, if there's a residual income component, which not all have that, but let's just say that's there. One of the places I've seen in my several years, over a decade in this industry, is that a lot of people are challenged at building the residual income component. So they can make good money on their product that they love, but building and equipping others into leadership and helping others earn income, which means you earn income, that's where I see a lot of people challenged. So number one, and this is, I was fasting about a month ago and just praying, like, Lord, who do you want me to share this with? Who do you want me to share it with? And what am I sharing? And I was praying, which is a whole nother anti-aging thing. Oh my goodness, the Holy Spirit, anti-aging, right there. He is anti-aging. That's my top thing. But he's amazing. And so I was praying. And then I usually, when I'm just waiting on him, he will literally just download this knowingness. And I felt him download, I want you to combine the residual income direct selling component. I want you to combine it with the book that you wrote last year. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. You get to teach believers, people who love Jesus, how to walk in my power. I felt him just say so many of my children, they're still walking in the flesh. They're still clawing their way through life. And I never created them to claw their way through life. So read my book, y'all. It's Walking in His Promises. You can actually go to transformedlivingtoday.com and pay the shipping and handling, and I'll send you a book for free. It is, in my opinion, it's been game-changing for me. I just wrote it out, and the Holy Spirit was there and just like downloading stuff like crazy. It was amazing. So I get to teach about that. And then the third piece I get to bring in to this multiplication transformation is wellness, because it's very challenging to build a successful business if you don't feel good, if you're exhausted all the time, if you don't like how you look. All those things play into your business. They do, for sure. So I am over the moon about this program. All right. It's a $2,000 program. It will go up. That's my founders, right? And it is worth, I just look back and think, if I had had access to what this program includes, I am telling you, it's going to be incredible. I am so excited. But if I had, it could have multiplied my rate of growth. And I know that to my very core. And I grew very fast as it turns out. But this, knowing, like 15 years in, knowing what I know and then equipping you guys with that it's crazy. And when you add to it the spiritual side, it's invaluable. And having a community. So I would love to invite you. The coupon code, Doing Life Together 50, so it's DLT 50, is good till June 24th at midnight. That's going to go off. That is half off. All right. It's $9.97 or something. Bananas. Okay. If you sign up tonight, I'm going to give you the 60-minute call with it. But if it's after tonight, I'm actually shifting that intro call to 30 minutes because 60 minutes is a long time, I'm finding, but they're amazing. Like the 60-minute, the hour calls where we can deep dive, answer your specific questions, tweak your specific business plan. It is fire. It is so good. I'm so enjoying it. But combined with coaching my Norwex team, which is my full-time gig, I coach my team. So I need to obviously protect my time and make sure that piece is still full out. And I'm so excited about what I'm doing in the Norwex front. So those of you who are part of my team, so much fire happening over there. And then I will say this, if you happen to be watching this and you know nothing about residual income, you've never thought about residual income, I did an earlier episode talking about passive versus residual income. They're slightly different, but a lot of the same characteristics. But I would just encourage you, again, do your deep dive on the power of direct selling. It's absolutely incredible. Find a mentor who you really resonate with. Find a product that is easy for you to get behind. And then think about what is a product that people are going to also get behind easily. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm a big product girl. Product is like my passion. And so I think finding a product that you're super on fire about, like I am super on fire about my product that I've been marketing for 15 years. That's why I'm still here 15 years later, is I believe so fully in the power of a Norwex cloth and what it can do in your life. And I mean, all the things, right? So find the place where you really deeply resonate with your product line, because to me, when you jump in, yeah, you can flip from company to company. Some people do that. They're just constantly going to the next hot thing in town. I'm a big build it big, build it solid, and build a legacy with it. But that's just probably a personality thing. Some people, so my advice, if I were coaching you, is find a product that you can see being there for the long term. Like that's how much you know it's going to change people's lives and it's going to be needed in many years to come. So yeah. So, all right. We have just we just opened a bunch of boxes today. We talked a little bit of light therapy. I just want you to do some research on your diet soda. I want you to do research on sunlight. And then when you realize the power of sunlight, and like the sunrise has red light in it, like God provided amazing red light therapy if you want it right there, or you can pay money and get an amazing red light with amazing results. So was this helpful? Put in the comments what your top takeaway was tonight, what kind of spoke to you. I would love to hear. And I hope this just inspires you on your slowing the aging train thing, biohacking, anti-aging, whatever it is you want to call it. But bottom line, I want you guys healthy. And there's so much, oh my goodness, oh, my brain is actually exploding. Again, today I was learning more about health, and a lot of it I was very familiar with, but I've heard like about polysorbate 80, but I was sort of mind blown today when I realized it's one of the things, and I have to deep dive this, but that actually breaks down your blood-brain barrier, which is God's amazing way to protect your amazing brain. And when you look at all the things that polysorbate 80, and I think it's some of the PEGs, maybe all the PEGs, but anyway, that they break down. Also, I understand it, as I understand it, your gut lining maybe, but your blood-brain barrier, like what? That's bananas. And guess what it's in? This makes me really sad because I like these a lot. Pickled pickles, but also I'm a huge fan of pickled okra. I love pickled okra. So I immediately went to the fridge, went and looked at my pickled okra, polysorbate 80 or whatever it is. I was like, no. So now I need to grow my own okra, or maybe some of you who live near me will do that and can it and pickle it. Because if you're actually pickling it yourself, I don't think that's going to be in there, right? Because you're actually using real food ingredients. But wow, mind blown. That's because, believe me, whatever it is, you want your brain protected. And so when you learn it's in cosmetics, we're not even going to go down the list of everything it's in, but it's something to be aware about as you are supporting your body and staying healthy and well. All right. I'm going to wrap it for tonight, but thank you so much for joining me, and I'll be very excited to hear your takeaways. And if you want to be part of my coaching program this year, it's going to kick off in July. I'm doing the calls that I told you about in June, and the coupon code ends June 24th. It's really going to be life coaching, but it's life coaching with the income component, because often when I think about life and wellness and living a good life, the life of your dreams, most of that needs funding, right? And so it's kind of marrying the funding portion in the direct selling arena, whatever direct sales company you're with, and then the lifestyle piece. And then the spiritual piece. I'm like, when God told me I got to cover all three of these in this course, I mean, you talk about my heart being on fire. That's how I felt, because I thought, this is amazing. Because when I typically coach if I'm in the direct selling arena, then I'm going to coach to direct sales. If I'm talking with a friend about wellness, then we're going to talk so being able to marry three of my very favorite things that I think are insanely powerful just makes me happy. So if that's you, you can go to multiplicationtransformation.com. You've got the coupon code till the 24th of June, 2024 is our year. If you're catching a later replay of this. This is a stellar deal, and it is my founder's price for sure. And I'm excited. And if you snag it, I'm really excited for 1 hour with you of power-packed business, like dig in, and so fun. It's my favorite. It's one of my many favorite things, I guess. All right. Good night, my friends. See you soon. Bye.